Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we'll unlock the book The Gifts of Imperfection, let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. This book discusses all we need to know about imperfection and vulnerability. When do you feel vulnerable? A breakup, a job loss, a loved one's death, or dealing with a demanding boss who stresses you out, handling accusations from clients, or family conflicts? Vulnerability has become so omnipresent, and it seems to break us so easily. In the face of vulnerability, some people grieve alone, some get drunk late at night, some indulge in binge eating, and others get into fights. Either way, most people will attribute the cause of all this to a sentence that hurts and blames themselves: "I'm so useless." Psychological problems are on the rise among nowadays. According to data released by the World Health Organization in 2017, of the 6 billion people globally, more than 1 billion have mental and psychological disorders, including more than 300 million who have depression and more than 260 million with anxiety. We live in a society that also now tends to believe that most of these mental and psychological illnesses are the manifestations of vulnerability. In turn, this makes each of us believe that it is vulnerability that prevents us from growing. However, the book's author Brené Brown argues that it's our own vulnerability that gives us strength. Having this strength allows us to live and love wholeheartedly. Brené Brown, a professor at the University of Houston Graduate College of Social Work, has spent the past 2 decades researching shame and vulnerability. She has also collected tens of thousands of true stories of Be Yourself. She's the first person to explore love and our sense of belonging and self-worth from a vulnerability perspective. The book points out that shame and fear are the roots of vulnerability, while embracing vulnerability brings joy, creativity, love, and a sense of belonging. After reviewing the book today, you'll learn about a new emotional disposition that will help you achieve enlightenment, peace of mind, and tranquility. This book stayed at number 1 on the New York Times bestseller for more than 18 weeks, and has sold more than 1 million copies since its release. Brown's work has struck a strong nerve with many readers, and she has received countless touching emails from her readers. But this is not all. The book Daring Greatly has also been highly recommended by Oprah Winfrey, the famous American talk show host, and Steven Pinker, the renowned cognitive psychologist. Ali Edwards, author of Life Artist, once commented, "Courage, compassion, and connection. Through Brené's research, observations, and guidance, these 3 little words can open the door to amazing change in your life." We've also unlocked 2 other books by Brown: Rising Strong and Daring Greatly. Feel free to look up these 2 bookies if you're interested. Next, we will explain the book in 3 parts. Part 1, Embracing Vulnerability grants us the power to practice wholeheartedness. Part 2, The barriers from vulnerability to wholeheartedness. Part 3, Ways to turn vulnerability into wholeheartedness. Everyone wants to live their ideal life. Suppose you edit the snippets of everyone's experience and put them together. In this case, you'll find thousands of people trapped in their own vulnerabilities. At the same time, you'll see that there are still many people living their lives in amazing and inspiring ways amid the many stories of vulnerability. So what traits do these vulnerable people have in common? From her research, Brown discovered that these people are the wholehearted. By showing vulnerability, courage, compassion, and connection, they are able to obtain love and a sense of belonging, and therefore live a wholehearted life. Let's start with courage. Courage is the ability to reveal weakness. There is so much uncertainty in the things we encounter every day. When things don't go our way or when something uncertain arises, we tend to become terrified. Typically, most of the time, most people will take the first step to hide these anxieties and make themselves seem less vulnerable. For example, in a failed interview, a lover's breakup, or a missing work bonus, we mostly downplay the loss by saying it's not a big deal to cover up our feelings of loss. This is because most people believe that exposing their vulnerabilities in front of others is a sign